And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Call with your car questions at 888 Car Clinic. But first, on the Car Clinic hotline with us now is FRED LIGOURI, Chevrolet EV, that's electric vehicle communications. Fred, welcome back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Glad to have you in the house.
Hey, thanks for having me back, Bobby. I appreciate that.
Fred, the Chevrolet Bolt EV is making some news right now. If you would, share with our Car Clinic listeners and viewers the announcement.
Yeah, so recently we announced that we've hit 50 state availability for the Bolt EV. It's a car that first went on sale in California and Oregon in December of last year. And through the intervening months, we've introduced a number of other states as we've gone along, but with the beginning of September here, fully and nationally available.
Well, now that it's nationally available, let's talk about inventory. And do you think there's going to be enough to meet consumer demand?
I think that we are prepared to equip our dealers with enough inventory to meet the demand that's out there. Thus far, we've sold about 12,000 vehicles. Lots of happy customers. It's great to hear some of the things that they're saying about the car. And definitely as those early buyers share their experiences with friends and family and others, I think we're well poised to see more folks to come into the Chevy showrooms.
Well, no doubt. Let's talk about affordability. How affordable is the Bolt EV?
So the Bolt EV is the only affordable long-range electric out there in the marketplace. We set the bar at a 238-mile range for the vehicle, which is really unparalleled in this price point. The vehicle starts at a MSRP of $37,495. That's with destination and before benefits from federal or state incentives, depending on where your listeners are hearing. There may be some of those available to them. Could easily bring the vehicle below $30,000.
Well, that's pretty cool. We're talking with FRED LIGOURI, Chevrolet EV Communications. Fred, let's shift gears. You talked about range, and so I'd like for you to restate the range of the Bolt EV, but more specifically, how much of a charge would it take, say, in a 30-minute public charge, and how far would that carry you down the road? And are you finding maybe that more and more charging stations are popping up in public places?
Yeah, most definitely. So the vehicle's rated for an estimated 238 miles combined on a single charge. What's really cool is we've had some initial owners go in excess of that just based on the way that they're driving the vehicle and really benefiting from the regenerative braking and one-pedal feature that we offer for the car. In addition, if you were to find a public charging station, you would have the ability to recharge up to 90 miles of range in 30 minutes on the car. But more than often, what we find are folks are charging at home and using the vehicle as they would in their normal daily lives. In fact, we have some survey data in from our earliest buyers and are finding that over half of them go more than 3 days between charges. So we really did deliver a lot of range in the Bolt EV, enabling folks to do everything that they would normally do in an internal combustion engine vehicle and only have to recharge every 3 days or so.
I think it's very interesting to look at where the Bolt was, where the Volt was, and now the Bolt, and then the range. We all started out, and there was range anxiety, but with 238 miles on a single charge, and every other day charging really sounds like the Bolt's going to be a great buy. I understand it's a crossover utility vehicle that looks relatively small on the outside. What's it like on the inside?
So it's deceptively small. It's got a very small exterior footprint, and making it very nimble and easy to park in an urban situation. But once you're inside the vehicle, it's really amazing how much room there is. So we refer to the vehicle as a small crossover, largely because of all that interior passenger volume that you get. It puts it on par with or in excess of our own Chevrolet Malibu. Definitely outdoes some other small crossovers out there. And then you've got all that in a very small package, very easy to park and maneuver, whether you're in any part of the state there or whether you're in Los Angeles, New York. I mean, it's just very, very easy to drive.
One final question, Fred, and folks, we're talking with FRED LIGOURI, Chevrolet Electric Vehicle Communications. Now that we're getting into fall, how does the Bolt do in inclement weather?
Yeah, so there are a variety of factors that might affect range. You heard me say before, 238 miles worth of range in our car. We have owners going in excess thanks in large part to how they're driving the car. But terrain, so if you're on hills versus if you're on flatland, may have an effect. And then temperature, right? Some of that ambient temp outside might start to affect. Fall is a great season, especially for down by where you're at. You're not going to see too much of that mercury drop. You're going to feel some impact on range, but with 238 miles worth of it underneath your belt, I think there's plenty of buffer there to get you where you need to go and back.
It sounds great to me. FRED LIGOURI, one last question, Fred. A website so that our Car Clinic listeners and viewers can get more information?
You can find all the information you need on Bolt EV or the rest of the Chevy lineup at Chevrolet.com. That's Chevrolet.com.
FRED LIGOURI, Chevrolet EV Communications. Fred, thank you so much for joining us again on Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Thanks for having me, Bobby.